And over time, I got a lot of stuff for it, and it wasn't very long. It was supposed to be an epic short. It was maybe 70 pages, and it was going to go in front of my Rambo 4 script, and then I was going to totally tear the Rambo 4 script apart, put in more conspiracy theory stuff, put in better action sequences, a better rundown of what it was initially, because it was kind of paper thin for a Rambo movie. It was kind of like a Vendetta movie and a straightforward action movie, and there was elements of conspiracy theory and a bigger picture, but I kind of kept those hidden within it, kind of like the viewer would kind of skim over it. That way people wouldn't send me hate mail, because it did deal a lot with America versus America. And I love America, but I just didn't think it was time for that kind of story to be told yet. And it had everything in it, it had like, oh my god, well, the dream version of it, the 69, 70 minute cut, had like everything in it. It had like the Saigon flashback at the end with the shoe shine box. It had some really intense scenes, like that shine scene I was just mentioning. It had the scene where Rambo's in the pit and they toss down the snake to him and he bites the head off, or he twists the head off and he eats the snake raw. The capture, everything. At times it kind of felt like a buddy movie, but it was like really, I want to say Blair Witch style, kind of. It was just pretty much, you're in Rambo's memories and this is what you see. It was very found footage. Actually, something that kind of reminds me of what my dream kind of looked like was this music video called Bad Motherfucker. It's a POV action adventure. It's in 2 parts, Office Escape. It's about, I think it's about 10 minutes. Check that out on YouTube. I think it came out last year. It's pretty awesome. There was a lot of content, so I tried to make the word imagery of it really kind of stand a point and stand out. Because, there was a lot of stuff I was going to cover in the script, but a lot of the scenes were only a minute, because I wanted them to be more like memory and, have that kind of dreamlike memory horror aspect of it come out. And it got pretty horrific. Like, there was scenes, that it gets pretty horrific. And then, after a while, I put it on a shelf. After a while, I stopped doing, the Rambo 4. I stopped working on that script, trying to make it a bigger script, because I thought maybe it might just need a whole new overhaul and go into a different story. So, as time went by and as the years went by, eventually they announced that they were going to do Rocky Balboa. I actually had my sister, who was living in the States, mail me a Slime magazine back home with my other sister, Slime magazine #1, to read the Rocky Balboa script, or the first 6 pages, I believe, of the script. 3 to 6 pages. Anyway, so I just kind of shelved it. Oh, they're making Rambo 4. So that dream was pretty much shot. And I don't know why, I thought like that, but, obviously I did back then. So anyway, time went by, Rambo 4 came out. And then, periodically after that, I started having a dream again. But this time it was different things. So I started, saying, man, what if I threw that in there? What if I threw that in there? What if I wrote a Rambo 5? Because, what are the chances of them doing that, right? So I started working around that, getting ideas together, and it's been like that ever since. Gathering the right idea, the right storyline worthy enough for Rambo, etc., etc., etc. So I was going to spill the whole plot of this dream prequel today, and then after that spoil the whole plot of the Rambo 5 one. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually finish writing it. and just put it online as a fan script. Yeah, so we got wow. And just because it's me, I probably will let it slip probably by next week. I just want to have the facts straightened out a little more before I actually unveil it. But or unveil what to expect from it for anyone who wants to read it. Yeah, like, we got so many topics this prequel month, and due to problems with our internet and timing and schedules and stuff, we actually have to push everything back. I think maybe a week or 2 weeks. So I'll leave you with this amount of tidbit to it. Like, I'll leave you with this spoiler. Someone asked me about a year ago, if you could do the prequel, how would you do it, right? And very simply, I just threw together what pretty much I just told you, but the only difference was at the end I said that if I was to do it now in today's day, I would have a young actor play Rambo, and it would all be POV. The whole movie would be POV, and obviously I would have Sylvester Stallone narrate the whole thing as Rambo, and have the younger actor kind of try and channel Stallone's physicality and the parts in which he speaks through his speech, which isn't a lot because I mostly wrote it in narration of Rambo. But that's how I would do it, nonetheless, right? Like, in every scene there'd be kind of like a reflective surface here and there, like off of a windshield, or off of a broken mirror, or off of a shiny vehicle or whatever, and we'd see Rambo in the shot. So you'd see Rambo here and there in the movie, like not very much. And it would all take place in that time framing of Rambo coming into the world and learning about the world, going off to war, the horrors of war, and his return back, all in memory fashion. It was to be called Blood Zero. I know, very inventive, huh? But that was the gist of it, and it was just a lot of carnage, and going for the feel of, like, don't get me wrong, it's violent, it's very violent. There's a lot of action, but sometimes the scenes of the violence are kind of dragged out. It's not for like gore or porn purposes, but more to bring forth the things he can't turn away from remembering seeing, the things you can't unsee. That war is not what he was led to believe it was going in, or this war for that matter. And trying to really capture that whole Rambo spirit of what came before, So that's how I would go about that. Essentially you have Sly there the whole way through, and that's what makes it authentic. To me, it was the only realistic way going around the whole thing. And then you could just have like the younger actor, voicing his lines, but you mostly only see him in small reflections. So I guess through the whole movie, maybe he's in there for like, maybe, I don't know, 15 minutes, and the rest of the time you could use probably a camera / stuntman. But Stallone's a very accomplished actor. I'm pretty sure he could do a great imitation of what his vocal cords sounded like when he was younger. You never know. It would be a pretty kick-ass movie. Kick-ass indeed, I must say.